Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from Hammock Beach in Boynton Beach, Florida. Beautiful little place right here. We are parked across the street at Hammock Beach parking lot. And isn't this pretty? It's a little private area. You walk through this little trail after you park for free across the street, and you can come right out here to the beach. The public beach of Boynton Beach is just this way, maybe a couple of 100 yards. And the Boynton Inlet that you see me always go to is about a half a mile, quarter of a mile that way. So we're gonna walk out here on the beach and make a little video for you guys tonight. So here we are, we got the nice backdrop for you guys. And before I begin the video and talking about tonight's subject, I wanted to give a shout out to a gentleman, Bob McDonald, that came into Publix. He saw Tammy and I walking in and he yelled, I thought he was leaving in his van, and he yelled, "Hey, Sarasota Tim." I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I had to get on into the facilities in there, believe it or not. So I went on in, and when I came out, Tammy said, he came inside and he gave me this CD for you. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to get a chance to meet you." So I know you watch the videos. I wanted to thank you very much. I'm sure in Boynton Beach, it's a small town. We'll run into each other again. Make sure you say hi, and I'll definitely shake your hand next time. So thanks again for that, Bob, and I'll listen to that later on for sure. Now, what I want to talk about tonight, after I get down here a little closer to the water for you guys, is if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Tim, and my sidekick is Miss Tammy, and we're really enjoying life. We're 62. We're 62. I was 62 a long time ago. I'm 65 almost in a few months. I got my Medicare card yesterday. And oh, we got some barking dogs over here, so let's walk away from them. Let's go down here. They like to yell. So anyway, folks, my channel has gotten, not as big as a lot of channels. I'm not trying to say that, but I made a couple of videos talking about collecting Social Security at 62 years old. And I continue to make these videos because we have new people. Every day I hear a statistic that there's 10,000 people a day, baby boomers, that are coming into retirement age, maybe even turning 65. And they've been debating and wondering, especially after the pandemic, what should they do? Should they collect their Social Security now, wait? What's the deal? They know they can get Social Security, and people are in different circumstances. There's people that's got pensions and they have a big time job they've had for 20 or 30 years and they're contemplating on quitting. And there's other people like myself that either work for yourself like I did for 33 years, or they've just had different jobs throughout their life, but they've always contributed to the Social Security income and to the taxes, and you're eligible for Social Security. Free money, that's what I call it. I know it's not free, folks. It's your money you paid in. So anyway, let's get into it. If you're 62 years old and you're getting ready to turn 62 years old, I say, and I advocate on my channel, that you should collect your Social Security. And I say there's only one reason that you should not collect Social Security at 62 years old, and that is if you're making so much money at 62 years old that they're just going to take it back from you anyway because there's an income limit. Or you just love your job, which I don't know too many people that do. I mean, I'm sure they're not hating it, but they would love to be, free, retired, do what they want to do. So I retired, and I started getting my Social Security at 62. And when I started telling other people to do it, they were telling me, well, I'm waiting for the bigger check. You get a penalty, or you get a 30% less, and you get all this stuff. And folks, it's a scam. It is a scam. You don't get a reduction. You don't get penalized. You get the amount. The amount is the biggest amount. If you collect your Social Security from day one, you will have more money than you will if you wait till your full retirement age for a long time. It takes till you're really old, sitting in a chair drinking Geritol, before you'll ever get more money by waiting until what they call full retirement age and get $700 more money. I collect $1,700 a month Social Security. And let's just say that that's never ever going to change, which it will. It'll go up a little bit, but then you got the Medicare cost. But anyway, if I collected $1,700 for the next 5 years, which I'm going to, I'll have $102,000 in my pocket already that I've used to live on, to spend, to do whatever I want to do with. Plus, I'm still able to work. Now, yes, I mentioned earlier there's an income limit. This year, it's $21,240 if you're a W-2 worker. But let's say you quit your job at 62 and you started getting Social Security and you became a 1099 person. You filed a Schedule C, meaning you went to work for yourself. You thought of some little entrepreneurial thing that you could go out and do, and all the money you made was a self-employment income. And the way they base the income on that is it's your adjusted gross income. But if you work for someone like I currently did with doing samples at Publix and things, that's a W-2. And so, but it didn't pay anywhere near $21,000. And I'm on a leave of absence right now. But folks, if you can make yourself $21,240 in addition to $20,400 a year, which is what I'm getting, and I'm getting the average Social Security check at 62 years old, that's $40-something thousand. And you can live on that. All you have to do is be smart. You have to be debt-free. You can't owe, 2 car payments, 3 credit cards, be paying a lot of money on an expensive house and all the maintenance and the stuff that goes along with it, and streaming services, Netflix, and all of these kind of things. You've got to purge all that from your life if you want to truly be free and start enjoying your life. And this is a better life, better than that, because who wants to be sweating all those bills from 62 years old till 67 for $700 more money? I would recommend that you become less in debt and you start collecting your money, and you can just simply start living more of a free life. You can travel, you can do what you want. You can buy yourself an RV like I have. You can buy yourself a smaller home, sell the one you've got, use all your equity and do something different. You can move into a mobile home park. You can roommate. There's all kinds of ways to live inexpensively, being a minimalist. But what you get is free time. And that's really the key. It's not about the money. With me now, it's become about life expectancy. It's become about my health. It's also become about my abilities and desires to do things. If you wait till you're 67 years old from 62, do you have any idea the difference between a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old young person? One's a kid and one's becoming a young adult. There's a huge difference. The same way happens when you're 62 and when you turn 67. For most people, you will age, you will lose your strength, you will lose your looks, you will lose your hair, you will lose your ability, you will lose a lot of things that start turning you old. We can't escape death and taxes, folks. You're gonna get older. And when you get to a certain point, exponentially, things start happening. And if you're gonna wanna live a life, when you're born, you live a third of your life growing up, then you live another third of your life working, buying cars, raising a family, doing all that. And then when you're at that final chapter of your life, do you want to just keep giving them more years to one of these jobs where basically you're waiting for $700 more money at 67 and then you quit? And how much of a difference is there going to be in your overhead at 62 to 67? You need to be planning on getting out of your debt in your mid-50s so that at 62 you're prepared. Because what's 5 years going to do if you're holding a lot of debt and all those things we mentioned earlier? So getting yourself debt-free is really the key. I mean, you certainly can't have a ton of bills and live on $1,700 a month, even working part-time. You must get yourself debt-free. But the idea is so you can just go golfing, go fishing, take walks, sleep in, stay up late at night, do what you want to do. Because do you know that the average age is only 73 for a male in America? 73 years old. That means I've got, not much left if I live to the average life expectancy. And a lot of people, you've read it. Look at Elvis Presley, died at 42 years old. Look at all these people you read about. Look at Pee Wee Herman a couple of weeks ago. Look at these people you read every day, are passing away in their 40s with strokes and heart attacks, 50s and 60s. And people want to talk about waiting for their Social Security to 67 years old. And then they're going to have this great life and have this extra $700. For what? You're going to be 70 years old right around the corner. And then after that, you're pretty much slowing down to where you're not going to be living. Right now is the time to live. I'm going to be 65 years old. Now, I'm very vibrant. I'm very youthful. I don't drink anymore. I quit drinking 3 months ago. I don't smoke. I never did. I don't do drugs. I never did. And I go to the gym. And this is what you can do when you become free and you don't have to go to a job that's stressing you out. I think positive. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I pray every day. All of these are healthy ways to stay living longer. And that's what you want to do. You want to live longer and live sooner. Quit working at that job at 62 and take your Social Security. Because what are you going to do with $700 more money? Do you know what things are going to cost 5 years later? Do you know what that $700 is going to be worth? And it doesn't work out to be more money. It really doesn't. Because let me show you right here on the math. Okay? I mentioned already that I collect $20,400 a year. And in 5 years, that's $102,000. And then at 70 years old, I've already collected $163,200 plus working. And also, that limit we talked about earlier, that's only a couple of years. You have plenty of years after full retirement age to make all the money you want. So if you want to work like a dog, you can. You're just not going to, and you still got that Social Security check. So it's just a bonus. But, and if you do go over the limit, don't worry about that either. You get it back. When you become full retirement age, the Social Security office is simply just going to recalculate your monthly check and whatever they withheld that you went over, and there is a withholding that they'll take over the $21,240, you'll get it back at 67. It'll recalculate your check. You don't get it back in one lump sum, unfortunately, but you will get a lifetime bigger check after it's recalculated. So you're not losing anything. $163,200 I got at 70. Now I go all the way to 80 years old. If I'm still here, okay, I would have collected $367,200. All right? That's 18 years of collecting Social Security. Now let's talk about the person that wants to wait till 67, full retirement age. If I waited, I'd get $2,400 a month instead of $1,700. And then my first year, I would collect $28,800 my first year. That's what you get at $2,400 a month. Now, the person that collected at 62 that drew $102,000 already, you're kind of behind. Okay, because your first year, it took you the whole year of 67 too to draw all that. So at the end of the year of when you're 67, I'm still $93,600 ahead of you. $93,000. And you've only got collected 1 year. I'm already way up there. Okay? Now, let's go to 70 years old. You've been collecting now for 3 years. You've got a whopping $86,400. I'm continuing right here of what I collected at 80 years old. I've got $367,200 and at 80 years old. And at 80 years old, if you waited till 67, you're going to have $374,400. Now you finally pulled ahead. It took you to 80 years old, okay, to get to the break even or to surpass. And guess how much you surpassed me? You surpassed me by $7,200. And it took you to 80 years old to get $7 grand more by waiting till full retirement age. That works out to, over the 13 years that you collected from 67 to 80, that's an average of $553.85 a year. You got more. Or, more pathetic, $46 more a month. So you tell me where it's not a scam that they don't want you to collect your money early so that you won't outlive and collect what you're entitled to. The day you can get your money, you paid into that your entire life. Don't worry about the limit income. Don't worry about all these bills. Plan. All you gotta do is plan. Lots of people, 98% of the people are like me. They don't have, big, huge retirements, pensions, and all this 401 stuff, because we've had different jobs all of our life. We might have a small one. The 1 to 2% of the people in this country that have made all the money, that have all the money, are the ones that really don't want to collect it to 62, because it wouldn't do them any good. Because they would never see the money until they're 67, because they would always be making more money, because they're all about making more money. But the thing is, people lose track about the math, and they get stuck on that instead of living your life. You don't know if you're going to be around till 67. And once you start collecting at 67, what are you going to do for the rest of your life if that's when you finally retire, when you're already thinking slower and you don't want to, I'm getting ready to take a trip with my camper and go around the country. What if you're like, I had a heart attack, or I just don't feel like doing that anymore. I don't want to hook up an RV, or I don't even want to play golf anymore. Or I'm playing golf, but now I got to play from the red tee box or the silver tee box because I can't even swing the club hard enough to get the ball out there. You're gonna get older. It's a terrible thing, but living your life, you're never gonna look back on your deathbed and say, I should have worked longer. Never. So folks, just to recap real quick. At 62 years old, if you're prepared and you don't have that much debt and you can find a way, and besides that, we're getting ready to turn the economy around in this country. There's going to be some things changing to where we're not looking at $2,000 a month for a 15 or a 700 square foot apartment. That's a joke. Things are going to change, folks, believe me. And we're going to come back to more of a normal, somewhat normal anyway. But believe me, these are the good old days. I don't know if we'll ever go back to those really good old days. But if you knew the day the Lord was going to call you home, would you just keep working, or would you want to live your life? Think about that. Now get out there and crush it.